Going back to the June 9th flood, as I said earlier, you know, we had this low-level jet, never seen before. We're sending up high balls. I was involved in a cloud seeding research program back then as well, so we were sending up pie balls, which are basically measuring the winds, wind direction and speed. And one measurement on that night measured up at 10,000 feet, a 75-mile-per-hour wind. Low-level jet, 75 mile per hour coming in from the southeast.
That's a lot.
That's a
lot.
That 40 to 45 is a lot, but when you see 75, that's actual measured wind speed and direction. 75. So, and again, never happened before. Probably.
Yeah.
Probably hasn't happened since, but it can certainly happen again.
You think about a jet engine getting fuel pumped into it, and
yeah,
you got a little bit, and if you're pushing a lot in there all at once, you're just going to, you're going to see some pretty incredible things out of the weather if you have those parameters.
As I said earlier, I did not sense any urgency that night. I was at some friend's house over on Foreman Street and near Sheridan Lake Road. And about 2 blocks toward Meadowbrook, that's where the flood was, Meadowbrook Elementary, just on the other side of Meadowbrook, the golf course there. So I was just a couple of blocks away from the edge of the flood. And wasn't watching TV, so the sense of urgency, I didn't sense any problems because it wasn't raining. I left the house there, my friend's house. I lived over in Robbinsdale, so I had to drive through the gap. And if it was raining, it wasn't raining hard. This must have been about 11:30 after the dam was breached. So I go up toward Jackson Boulevard on Sheridan Lake Road. If I would have turned left, I would have driven right into the floodwaters, and I would have seen just how catastrophic this event was. I turned right to head toward the gap, and I got down to the Mountain View and Jackson Boulevard.
Yeah.
There the water was just funneling through the gap, and I realized there's no way I'm going through the gap this evening. And Bacon Park was underwater. One of the businesses was on fire. And only at that time did I realize how catastrophic this situation was.
What was your first thought when you realized this was an urgent situation? What do I do? Where do I go?
Exactly. Well, I saw it, and what I did, I turned around and went back to my friend's house and just spent the night there. I didn't really see how bad it was until the next day.
Oh my goodness.
And then I saw houses on Jackson Boulevard, and the folks, I'm sure you've seen photos of the cars piled up, piggyback on one another. And my job over that weekend was to locate cars in the creek and check and make sure there was no bodies in the car. That was horrific. You know, every time I'd see a car, I'd just pray, don't have a body in that car, don't have a body in that car. So that's my experience.
That's surreal.
And again, I'm going to say this one more time, with the warning systems we have now, those kinds of deaths and injuries and businesses being destroyed should be lessened quite a bit with the warning system that we have in place now.